What is going on with the Denver Nuggets? This is a team that's currently the eighth seed, who was at the beginning of the year a top three seed in the West. And they are right now, they did just win a game, but they were on a losing streak. And I want to talk today about what's going on with the Denver Nuggets and how have they fallen from being seen as one of the top three seeds in this year's Western Conference to being a team that could potentially be an eighth seed. And with that being said, I'd like to hear down below, guys, your comments on what you guys think of the Denver Nuggets. And let's get into today's video. First off, I want to talk about their offensive rating. They're actually the fifth best offensive team per rating with 116.9 in the entire league. They're fifth out of 30th, which shows they're a really good offensive team. But then you look, they're the 20th best defensive team with 112.5. And they allow 111.2 points per game and score 115.5, which is fourth for the most points scored and 10th for the most least amount of points allowed, which shows that this is a team that struggles with defense. And really, besides that, they don't. Michael Porter is supposed to be the third guy, and he hasn't stepped up because Michael Porter Jr. has the potential to be better than Jamal Murray. And Jamal Murray's a star, but he's not a superstar. He's not the guy. He's the third in a championship contending team. Jamal Murray's the third guy. Jokic and another person who we suspected Michael Porter Jr. would be the three guys you want on a championship contention team. And I think the problem is outside Nikola Jokic, there isn't another superstar there to help because you either have one superstar surrounded by a few, like one or two star players who are supposed to be Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and then a bunch of really good role players, which they do, role players and good starters players, which are there with Paul Millsap. They had, I'm not a fan of Will Barton and Gary Harris, but I know a lot of Denver guys are. But I know a lot of people who are Denver Nuggets fans have agreed with me that Gary Harris at this point needs to be traded because his offensive output that he had, 4 years ago where he's scoring 17.3 points per game has never came back. He's shooting 32% from three. And yes, he gives you a plus defender, but it's not enough defense to amount for how much they're paying for him and how many minutes he's playing, 30 minutes a night. And Will Barton's a better scorer, but he's about the same or worse at defense. And outside of that, you have Monty Morris, who's a great off the bench point guard who could be potentially kind of their sixth man. And he's kind of been playing that role in the sense being a secondary facilitator, secondary ball handler when Jamal Murray isn't there, even though he's only averaging 11 points. Michael Porter Jr., who's now averaging 28.1 minutes with the idea that Mike Malone is trying to make him, give him the minutes that he needs to develop. We thought we were going to see Bol, who could be a really good guy for them off the bench, but he doesn't have the size, and they have to change to a zone defense, which pretty much Bol is the worst defender on this team, and his offense must be not good enough for them to put him out there because he's really played only 6 minutes in 14 games, 6 minutes per game. So what they need to do, look at a guy for Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon could be a guy that could really help the Nuggets get back to being a fourth or fifth seed, being a versatile defender who can't create for himself offensively that well. But with Nikola Jokic there, he could be a guy giving you 17, 18 points a night and being a very versatile defender. And obviously you could think that rebounding is one of their problems because yes, they have Michael Porter Jr. averaging 6.5 with Jokic dropping about 11 rebounds per game. But if you look on their offensive side, Jokic is the only guy getting three offensive rebounds a game. The rest is only getting about 1.5. They have 4 guys getting 1.5 rebounds, and 3 of those guys are supposedly their power forwards or big men, and they're not even getting 2 offensive rebounds a game, which is a bad sign, showing that they're not getting their second chance opportunities that they should be getting. Now, as we continue to look through this team, I think one of the bigger problems for the Nuggets is they don't have guys to score when the offensive starters or the stars in general go to the bench. And you can argue with me that Michael Porter Jr. or Will Barton, Gary Harris fill that role, but they aren't. They aren't, and it has not been successful because right now, outside of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, who are the 2 20 points per game scorers, Will Barton, Michael Porter are the 2 guys. Michael Porter with 14 points, Will Barton with 11, then Monty Morris and Paul Millsap. And Paul Millsap, yes, he's 35, and I think they kept him a year too late. They shouldn't have, they had a nice run with him. They should have let him walk this year and use that money for someone else. When that guy like Daniel Gallinari would have been perfect for them. And I know they might not have the money to do it, but still, I think this is a team that they need to make a trade for Aaron Gordon to save their season. But that's pretty much it from me today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Sorry for a late upload, but tomorrow will be the Eastern Conference video just because I don't have time to upload it or record it, and I got so much stuff to do with school. I gotta go get high because I've been in the library I haven't gotten high in like 8 hours. Until next time.